they're employing swatting techniques, which is extremely dangerous because SWAT teams are known for people. And if SWAT team shows up at your house, they don't. Wait, they don't. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Get on that.
This is serious business.
Well done, Diana Kane.
The FBI has
She's
to be
worked it
involved
out.
in this. And all they got to do is declare Kiwi Farms a terrorist organization. And then
The website, there's 2 websites, and they're based in, the company owns them. It's based in England. Right. So, don't know where I found this. 1 hour ago. Okay. So, I'm getting late notifications. So, the various individuals who are doing the gang stalking for the lady that's in America, and there's quite a few individuals behind all this, and they're demonic. So now what's going on? Bear with me, my phone's going crazy. Now what? I can't copy that stream. I'll go back to the one where she claims the website's down. So let me go back. Let's go into my see what I just played. Not the one where she's just live. Right. Now it's this one. Just for the record, this is factual.
then they can start busting their members. And I'm certain, I know they know where you are, Tammy Huss. Yeah, I know they know where you live. I gave them your address. You doxed they doxed you on Kiwi Farms for being a stupid fucking lol cow. And considering that I spent the night with one of their top members, Niles, and I am convinced that he is still very, very sweet on me. The connection that he and I had was in no way, shape, or form one-sided. That boy was blown away. The connection that he and I had was in no way, shape, or form one-sided. And he got picked up by Multnomah County Sheriff's Department because we know Niles is involved in some stuff. So, Tammy Huss. Now, I hope that my ex-husband and his new wifey are paying attention because, Tammy Huss, you claim that you're doing these things, these illegal activities, these terroristic activities on behalf of Skip and Stephanie. You're doing it for them. You've been real clear about that. As a matter of fact, that entire thread is evidence that you have been terrorizing me on behalf of Skip and Stephanie. That Stephanie came to you. So Stephanie, are you telling me that Skip and Stephanie employed a terrorist organization to fuck with me? Because I'm pretty sure that's a crime. I'm pretty sure they can be arrested. So go ahead and make another video, Tammy Huss. Go ahead and confess everything. Go ahead, make another video about me. You will be labeled a terrorist terrorist organization. You will be labeled a terrorist, Tammy Haas. You're a member of a terrorist organization. Therefore, you will fall. You will get the same penalty Tammy has. So you were in Skip's ear.
Okay, this lady, a history, a past history, unfortunately. Her ex-husband was in the military in America. And old videos of hers is being streamed by individuals. And really disrespectful to her. She's a lady that's traumatised and ultra trauma-based mind control, but this lady doesn't know the full extent how trauma works, maybe, but she's intelligent. So she's put in the heading, Kiwi Farm still down the website. I don't go and check. I'm going to stop. I don't bother looking for it myself because I'm hacked and I'm monitored in the UK, so let other people do that. So you already can see comments. That coach round dude told her the next time you go live that she needs to let the people know so they can hurry over to your house and serve you. Do you know anything? If you don't, this is what it's a bit like. There's somebody at the moment streaming in England called Abe, and the definitions of words, meanings, it's all about business and commerce. But when you're targeted, unlawfully set up, they use their demonic connections. They're not. Let me just go on here. All they do is talk about you as constant. It's obvious, you know. So this individual, she's obviously watching, observing, and a lot of people are. So I don't know what the statute version of the acts and statutes are in
Then they can
America,
start busting their.
but you know, if you listen to when she's not drinking and you read between the lines, you can see why she's getting a lot of traction, because there's certain individuals. It's got to be in the bonnet. And let's just see Tammy Hayes. She is leading the way with TI News, which is Will. Will's got quite a few sub accounts. Right, an hour ago. Let's see, Tammy. Monday Giggles, really.
Happy Monday afternoon, everybody.
She did a morning stream and then she's done an afternoon. Let me go see who, just briefly. See the horn of the devil. Think it's so funny. I thought she'd restreamer, but this woman called Tammy Hayes online lives in Florida, and 12 years of stalking this woman on that website. 12 years.
Friends. And then I have to ask Montgomery.
It's how possessed she is.
Who can
If this woman, Tammy Hayes, right? She's got a family of her own. Why don't she concentrate on it instead of focusing on this individual? It's really possessive and it's sick. It's demonic.
sit on a live stream and scream how she is going to kill people?
That this is Google Inc. Corporation allowing this on this platform, and yet they make sure that I get strikes and anyone tells the truth about facts, yeah, they can back up. And then you get idiots that gaslight you and lie about you, lie and slander. And yet people like that who are satanic, and who knows they're part of the satanic ritual abuse occults, and that literally libel and slanders online like this, you know. And yet you look at the policies of Google Inc. Corporation, it clearly states, you know, what you know, they use of their goods and services online on their website, but yet people like that get away with it.
But everybody else is the terrorist. That is hilarious. Yeah, you're probably right, Will. I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, honey, you do get paid. Absolutely. I'll have to ask. I think payment is only in Twisted Tea, though, so I hope.
This is how sick this woman is. There is a genuine international list. It's military based. It's military operation and connection with private contractors. Brian Chu can go into it. There's other people that supposes it. There is an international list of individuals being targeted, gaslighted, and programmed. It's wide. It's been going on for a long time, and it's detailed. There's a website streaming on this channel, educateyourself.org, and you can research it. So these people need to educate themselves and stop their demonic activities against innocent individuals. Unless you got first-hand knowledge, I'll go into my channel. Unless you got first-hand knowledge of the truth of the facts on record, that an individual, flesh and blood, living soul, individuals harmed another, and they're just hacking my computer again. There's nothing. Let me just go into my mainstream. Yeah, so that, you know, these are corporations. Hold on. There's so much really good people out there trying to get some truth, and then you've got the sick, perverted people like her.
That's okay. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
To harass me, they don't bother me at all. I feel like maybe.
So.
And that's been verified?
Yeah, because I actually called Goodwill. I talked with the general manager. Her name was, I think Shannon was her name.
We know that the cops are saying they've been there. She's, they're not making contact. So the next time she goes live, I think that might be a time for you to contact them and say she's live now.
See how they're encouraging. You know, all they want is to whatever something in America that Daniel's done in the past. Then there is an independent, because she's has the gentleman that she's living in his trailer there. He used to work as a public servant, as she says before, and he has a former police department or whatever. He must have his own connections that she can use, and I hope she does, to stop these demonic people saying libelous claims and trying to make presumptions, because how do these people, unless they're on that website, slandering her, digging up her past, trying to make assumptions about her now? Whatever people's done their lives, right? So all you get in maritime law, if it's civil matter, parking ticket or something like that, well, I'm not in America, so I can't quote specifically how their system works. But generally, if it's a civil matter, you know, I've got all these documents in England proving that these public servants, companies, is private or public civil matter. If it's in the statute law criminal, then in common law, unless you actually causes physical harm, and now it's obviously emotional, psychological harm to another living individual, then they use common law. But they use different legalese language, and you got different definitions and meaning of words, and etc. And when you learn about tort law, etc., etc. So yeah, it's obvious this Tammy Hayes and her crew of individual, so friends and certain individual I'm aware of, and his certain activities, shall we say, and it's really is just drama. Seriously, life is important every minute of the day spiritually, and these individuals are spiritual, decent soul.
You could go right now. She's home. She's live.
Oh, that's a good idea. Actually, that's a good idea.
I
And she
mean,
said
like,
at the end of this video that she is going to work. So I should probably call him and say, hey, that's where you can find her to serve her the paperwork.
well, I don't know where she works at, so
I do, Goodwill. Well, I figured that out. Yeah.
Really, you see, Tammy Hayes, now you're sure, yeah, that's harassment. You find out someone works, and then you want to harass them at their work. That is direct harassment.
So,
and that's been verified.
yeah, because I actually called Goodwill, talked with the general manager. Her name was,
See what she's admitted. You know, right. Harassment and bullying. Okay. It's not me, but look what Google company says about that. Right. Look at this. Harmful and dangerous acts, right? Let's have a look at the list. So look, it says flagged videos and users are reviewed by YouTube agents, employees 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, determine whether they violate their community guidance. Accounts are penalised by community violations, and serious or repeated violations lead to account termination. Where's the one about harassment and bullying? Right? Misleading infringes. So unless Diana flags it up herself, right? I can't do it, you know. Well, I know how to do it, but I couldn't do it because it's not me. But it clearly states on their website, I mean on the Google link channel, about this. People should not be doing this now, etc. And unless Diana wants to flag it up herself, well, perhaps she's doing it for views, attention, I don't know, but she's trying to respond in her own way. But from an outsider's point of view, looking in, it ain't looking right for this individual, Tammy, and her online friends.
I think Shannon was her name. And, when, I'm just asking her questions, and she goes, wait, are you with the police? And I said, no, I'm trying to find Dana. Oh, I can't tell you anything more. I mean, she clammed right up. Cool. Yeah.
No, she can't say anymore because it's GDPR. It's I don't know what it's like in America, but in England, and the General Data Protection, which is a statute Act 2010, sorry, correction 2018. They can't share your personal data, and especially if it's one of their company agents, employees like Diana. Diana could sue that company for breach of GDPR, her data, personal data, to an individual that's not related to her as well, right? For anyone. So Tammy didn't get anywhere with that.
Yep. So,
You should have said, no, but I'm trying to have her served. And if you don't tell me for sure she works there, then you're technically hindering an investigation.
No, not unless you're officially employed as a public servant in whether it's England or America. You have to have the right lawful due process to use their system. You can't have a random guy like what he quoted just now to Tammy. That's not correct.
That's true. That's true too.
I mean, technically, you're trying to investigate where to have her served. I mean,
that's not her jurisdiction, and that's a private individual cannot do that. An individual, that's called harassment either way.
Yep. Yep.
so, I mean, like I said, I mean, if we know for a fact that's true, then yeah, you can have her served at work, or wait till she's live again, and just call them and say, hey, listen, I know you guys have been trying to serve her. You haven't been able to make contact. I know for a fact she's home right now because she's on a live stream in her living room right now.
That would be funny, actually.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that it should be amusing to see the police knock on her door and her freak the fuck out, but it might be. And you are legitimately having her served with legitimate paperwork. So
Exactly.
it's not like you're calling in a SWAT call or nothing. You're just literally using the facts of the matter that she's home
Yeah.
to make contact so they can serve her paperwork.
I agree.
Like I am not promoting swatting, guys. That's not what I'm doing here.
No. That's a good idea. She's got to get served the paperwork. I mean,
Right.
She doesn't have
Tammy
to.
is sorry.
If they don't serve it by court time, and she doesn't do anything to try and say, hey, I never got the paperwork or whatever, it's still going to go through. It doesn't matter.
I don't know, man, because like I had some legal issues with a client not paying me, and that shit went on for 2 years. If they kept extending it due to lack of service for 2 years.
Okay, let's have some fun. Hang on a second. Let me check something. I'm going to do something right now.
It's just the way that people are being treated,
Like staff. Okay.
no matter where they are in the world.
All right. I am going to actually call them. I'm going to put it on speakerphone so y'all know what I'm doing.
Is Arizona a two-party state? Is Florida a two-party state?
I don't know.
You might want to look that up before you go recording police conversations.
Well, no, I was going to call Goodwill.
Okay. Well, I mean, still,
Yeah.
you might want to make sure before you go recording any conversations.
Parties. With cops, I don't think it matters.
Actually, there are some states where audio recording of law enforcement is an offense, or is a state offense. Florida is a two-party state, and the recording's taking place in Florida, so you do have to have their permission, or at least tell them the call's being recorded.
Yeah, Arizona's a one-party state, so if I was in Arizona, that would be different. So,
Right, but your recording, it typically goes off the state of the recording device. Being it's across state lines, there's various rules that change, but typically it goes off the state in which the recording is. So,
okay, well, I'll wait until we're off here, and then I'll call.
yeah.
That's so
And just so everybody check your state laws before you go audio recording the police, because there are some states that will throw your ass in jail for audio recordings of the police.
Yeah.
Right.
You have a right to video everywhere. They can't tell you can't do video anywhere, but audio is a completely different story.
Yeah, I actually, the one that I did when Jules was in my chat, or on my panel, I think, I actually
Yeah.
put that private, so.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't want you to do something that, could
No,
later
I
come
don't
back
want
on you.
Go back on me, exactly. All right, we'll finish listening to the goddess here, and then I will get off here and call her, and I'll let y'all know how it goes.
Her name's all over those postcards.
Hey, GLM.
Where you are falsifying court documents for a restraining order, you don't even know how to call it the right thing. You're not even calling it the right thing.
And
And
Florida
you
is
got
called
people
restraining order.
impersonating police officers to intimidate and harass me. Trying to convince people, you're scared and you're desperate because you really know what you've been doing. Apparently, I'm not the only one you've done it to. It's my understanding that you have terrorized and stalked a lot of people online.
I would like to see that proof. Please show receipts. Seriously,
This is what you do.
that's what I do.
And again, Huey Farms is now harassing Marjorie Taylor Greene, a U.S. Senator. They're over in London. They're having the police in Canada. They're spawning techniques, which is extremely dangerous because SWAT teams are known for shooting people. And if SWAT team shows up at your house, I mean, come on, guys.
Is she not aware how this works anymore?
No.
The FBI has to be involved in this. And all they gotta do is declare Huey Farms a terrorist organization.
Now, here's a couple of points. The first point is that the FBI, the agent that I talked to in Flagstaff, and I know I didn't talk to all of the FBI, but the agent that I talked to in Flagstaff had no fucking clue what a Kiwi Farms was.
No, the Arizona police didn't either.
And the second thing is a website that's dedicated to documenting nut jobs on the internet is not a terrorist group.
Now, I was going to say, posting videos of shit you've done is a copyright issue, but it's not a terrorism issue. And apparently she doesn't know how SOP works with police. Like, okay, so SWAT don't just show up and start kicking in fucking doors on a voice tip that somebody might be doing some terroristic shit. That ain't the way that works.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's never worked that way. I'm saying since that one gamer kid got fucking swatted and killed,
Yes.
they've changed their SOPs nationwide. Like, there are some set guidelines. Like, they have to make contact or at least attempt to make contact. Now, if SWAT showed up at her house, say somebody did call in a SWAT call, and they show up at her house and they knock and they see her in there and she doesn't come to the door, yeah, they might kick that motherfucker down.
Right.
Charming.
But if they knock, or at least they get on a loudspeaker and say, hey, this is the SWAT team with blah, 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 police. You
Right.
need to come out with your hands up right fucking now. They don't just go in guns fucking blazing. That's not the way this works.
In Danaverse, that's how it works, dude.
Now, again, I'm not saying there isn't some corrupt, cop somewhere that possibly might, but typically speaking, that ain't the way this works.
Right. No, of course not.
Like, I've seen SWAT to go to drug users' homes where massive amounts of guns are known to be, people that have been investigated for a year,
Right.
and they didn't even kick in those fucking doors. They knocked. Now, they were hot and heavy, ready to bust through the door when the door opened,
Yeah. But
they didn't.
she's in some kind of fucking 80s goddamn Waco fucking dream here or some shit.
Right. This is not the way they operate. They don't shoot first and ask questions later. If they come in and say, put your hands up, and you reach in your pockets, they might.
Right, of
Or
course.
if you run from them and then whip around real quick with your hands in a threatening position, they might.
Exactly. But typically, that's not what they're doing.
No, SWAT don't just kick in your door, guns fucking blazing. That's not the way it works. Because trust me, they get no justice from killing people.
Well, no, of course not. Of course not. So, I don't know. It's, to me, it's, and what's funny is that when you're sitting here watching her, she just sounds so serious. She's so calm. She's so sure that this is what's going on. Little does she know that she's not even close to what's going on, number one. And number two, she's lost her fucking mind. She's got a couple of states looking at her.
Right.
So,
Well, she's got at least Texas,
yeah,
at least New York, at least Arizona, and the FBI. So,
In what way?
yeah, I think that she probably shouldn't be worrying about Kiwi Farms or me being a terrorist. Can you do that in your pajamas? 'Cause, you know, I'm usually in my PJs all day because I don't go anywhere. I work from home, so I ain't gotta get dressed. You know, can I do terrorist stuff in my PJs?
I mean, I don't see why not. I
Online.
mean,
Well, I just want to make sure that I have the right outfits for this new job that I got.
I mean, I think at some point you need a suit and a tie for at least guys. I mean,
okay, all right. Well,
I
then
mean,
I'll have to see what I can come up with then, because I mean, obviously, I don't have everything I need now that I've been labeled a terrorist.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, like high-end criminal organizations, don't they usually dress pretty well and
Well, yeah.
drive like nice cars and shit?
Yeah, no, exactly. You're exactly right. They absolutely do. That's, I mean, Jesus, I must be really on the low end of the terrorist spectrum.
You gotta be the one they send into the fucking building. I mean, because
I have to be. Yep. In fact, I am probably one of them. What do you call them there? Now that Dale said I'm up there with ISIS, which, by the way, she does compare me to Bin Laden in this video, so that's gonna be fucking awesome. You know, I'm a suicide bomber. That's what I am. Because I can wear pajamas doing that. So that's.
you can't say bomb on a live stream.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say? Oh, I meant bomb. One of those bombs.
Exactly.
Hey, I hear tale that if you say bomb too many times, either on a live stream or any FCC communication, that they put you on a list and start watching you.
Yeah.
Well, then.
I don't know if that's true or not, but Anna and I do that shit all the time.
Oh my God.
When we're on the phone, I'll be like, bum, 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 bum. Now they can listen to it around every fucking where.
I guess so. Niles was never. She keeps saying that Niles is this guy that pumped and dumped her.
Yeah, he's the devil guy, right? That she sucked coke off his dick or whatever.
Charming.
He's high up in the Kiwi Farm. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is if I am on Kiwi Farms and I am disgusting and I'm a terrorist, why isn't he also disgusting and a terrorist? Because he's part of Kiwi Farms.
I mean, if he's one of their higher ranking members and you're a member of the same group, wouldn't that, I don't know how it works where you are, but typically there's some honor amongst gangbangers and thieves and terrorist groups.
Right.
A little bit.
Exactly. Disgusting woman. But I think it's funny.
And I am convinced that he is still very, very sweet on me.
No, he's not.
He and I had was in no way, shape, or form one-sided.
It was totally one-sided.
Yeah, he just wanted to do blow and eat your butt, all right?
That's it. That's exactly it.
Is that the
Yep,
way you treat
that's it.
people? Really?
Snort coke and ass munch. That was it.
That boy was blown away by his time with me, and it changed his life. And he got picked up by the Multnomah County Sheriff's Department. We know Niles is involved in some stuff. So, Tammy Hess,
Tammy Hess.
now, I hope that my ex-husband and his new wifey are paying attention because Tammy Hess, you claim that you're doing these things, these illegal activities, these terroristic activities on behalf of Skip and Stephanie.
I don't know where she gets that from, because I have never said that, not one time.
The only thing I've heard you say about Stephanie was that, you know, you've been, you know, talking to her and trying to help her through the stress of dealing with all this.
Exactly, that's it, but never once have I said that I'm doing it just for, I'm not doing anything for.
For 12 years, you've been
Right.
stalking her.
Well, I mean, you did file an RO, you did file a police report, you did file a report with the FBI, but this had nothing to do with Stephanie.
It had absolutely zero to do with
You
that.
did what? You did take some clips of her threatening Stephanie and make sure Stephanie got hold of those clips.
That's it.
But warning a friend that there's a death threat, I don't see how that's terrorist behavior.
Yeah,
No, it's
well,
stalking.
I guess if you do it against Dana, it is terrorist behavior, I suppose, yeah.
It's on about your
You're
website.
doing it for them. You've been real clear about that. As a matter of fact, that entire thread is evidence
Hey, Gemma.
that you have been
You're
terrorized
welcome, Gemma.
on behalf of Skip and Stephanie. That Stephanie came to you. So Stephanie, are you telling me that Skip and Stephanie employed a terrorist organization?
What?
Oh, they're terrified you're gonna come kill them and their kids, you fucking psycho.
That's enough of that. And this is what people do online these days. You can tell that the world we're living in. Sadly. This world is not pleasant, right? And they're just, right.
Yes, we know Niles is involved in some stuff.
Right. So, I should end this train now. This is, it is organised, whether it's online, offline. It's the same tactics, as I said earlier. It's not just her, anyway. The whole programming is a military operation worldwide. And the gaslighting and targeting and, excuse me. Anyway. So, I need to go and do something late. Things they do to me is just ridiculous. If you go into the bigger picture, it's not just about people like them, but military abductions, MILABs, military. I would suggest just, you know, get your wits about you, because of Project Monarch, mind control, and the MILABs and all this history of this demonic side of life is on educateyourself.org. So I just want to know if I can still get the website up. And no, I'm going to close it down now. It's just certain things I won't even mention here, but that's in America. You try. Anyone does that in England? There's a very good, yeah, I thought they would block me clicking onto that website. So I'll get rid of that. And there's bigger things to be concerned about. The open slander of the characters part of the MK Ultra Tron-based mind control as well. Now, the After Dark is where these people get away with slandering. After Dark, the trolls, these are individuals of those two websites who defy me. This is the kind of world we're coming to. It's a YouTube channel, but there's more important information out there on the spiritual point of view. So, and there's also things that could be just take 1 minute at a time. It's not easy. Yeah. I like it when people are awake, and the Fallen Angel 666, and there's really very helpful information out there. So I will be listening to information because, and I won't be certain things I'll be listening to.
Coming out of the darkness and to dwell in the darkness, the dark side. Anger leads to hate, hate leads to fear, fear leads to the dark side, young Jedi. So you see, it's given to you again. Lucas capitalized on it. It's put out there in TV, on Hollywood, and in many books and narratives, and it's true, you see. So the darkness is great for a little bit, but the dark days are over, and it can be shown to you how to find, as written in the good book and the Hebraic text there, the kingdom of heaven, and for you to command the universe, which is not occult, dark magic or anything like that. It's beautiful once your eyes are open, and not to lose the fear, but to control the fear, and to have a healthy relationship with yourself. And as the Buddhist Zen-like Tibetans and Eastern Zen-like philosophy says, to be mindful and to grow, and smoking cannabis.
Mara Tranquil. Best
Missions,
use common law in
would you like to
Transport. They
reconsider,
know you
or
can
we'll
see
go
through
for
their
a
facade.
High Court judicial review, or we will press forward with effecting legal claims for discrimination, disability discrimination, disability hate crimes, as Andy was telling me today. There's just so much going on with different souls all around with different topics and subjects, and it's hard for me to get back to, but this was just today, and so it can be looked at as such, and you will, if you stick to your guns, like anything, you stick to your corner and you don't give up.
This is when one is on a target list, you get direct discrimination, which is all part of the occult. And all this is part, it's not just, this guy called David runs his website and it's in an live stream with others. The guy Kevin, he was gaslighting me before I knew what gaslighting was online. and to muzzle in to be taken over and be behind the scenes with David. 2018 that was. You see, all of this is being, the program is being from History Today. But all communications, all devices as well in history to date is monitored. And anyone with a moral compass is on the radar. So who enough puts you on the list? You don't want to worry yourself about all that. The one is about survival. So cast your demonic entities out there. Because Nibiru, the Planet X system, you know, these false flags even more gonna happen, even more so. It's easy as not to worry, you know, because what they like to do is trigger the traumas in your life and to cause the ultimate. It's not easy said and done. What I need to do now is not ideal, but I need to do it to prepare for the more BS on my plate. It doesn't stop. Where people are distracted, just come off holiday and all this jargon. Yeah. So how are you going to survive for your food, your water, your gas, your electric? It's still physically on earth while these trials and tribulations on this massive scale around the world, not just over in England, is happening, whether you're targeted or not. Common sense approach, and yeah. So I'm, been there, done it, got the t-shirt. If I go, when they put someone in your pathway, and it turns out to be someone of a demonic nature all these years ago, and you wake up one day and you have a light bulb switch on, you realise everything's not quite what you've been ever taught about. But there is a wonderful spiritual awakening going on, and on this earth. You see, light always conquer dark, but the spiritual battle is here. It's always been here. And the soul is what they're draining. The soul catchers. This is a key word, isn't it? Soul catchers. So bless his heart. It is forgiveness. It's very hard to do. And these people, that particular Tanya, she has no forgiveness. Those people that are now part of whatever they're doing, it's up to them. But that individual Diana, and many people like her, they turn to drink and drugs because that's a hide away from the trauma in their personal lives, and some people do use that, some people don't, but unfortunately we're not all the same. But when you go back in history or the psychological tactics which I showed on earlier today, and then the advancement in technology is here already. I mean, I've only had the Wi-Fi on, I don't know, for 30 odd minutes, whatever it is, and the frequencies are really just merged together with the 5G, the smart technology. I'll go out on the street safely and go, I need to go and get back. And I taste that frequency. You can sense that around one. And then I'll guarantee again, I'm not pre-entering negativity, but also, my main internet connection is being rerouted. So why the hell should I pay for anything when that is happening? But if I don't, then I'm in dishonour when these corporations are companies the offers of contracts. But unless you get a full disclosure, terms and conditions. But don't forget, this week coming, Royal Mail PLC is a corporation. Their agents, employees, agents, are on strike. And don't forget, if your TI, your post is being manipulated and messed about with, you suddenly will be bombarded with loads of posts. With my situation, that's what they do with MK Ultra side. Constantly having to respond. But there's a pattern now, okay? And it doesn't matter what evidence I have, and the facts and the truth. We're not dealing with the flesh and blood. We're dealing with individuals that their souls taken over, and they just got one agenda. And when they got me robbed in such a way, and I've even got these evidence, and if I go and try to sue the CEO or the public servants of the company, you know, this is not just one incident. There's been a whole life of incidences where the first move to the town, you know, you get serious, repetitive, serious traumas, and then the brain can only take so much of that. So the terminology used is disassociation and trauma, like I showed earlier on that stream. The history, how they do that, is trauma based, you know, and the fear, you know, and you need to be definitions. I'd love to get a really good loudspeaker, Bluetooth speaker, because then I can define the frequencies, break them off, and to the actual advancement technology I'm picking up on my audio app, and especially last night. So, wow. Do you know, I'd always had a gut feeling that I'd be, there's something, there's something about my character that wow. You see, I got out of a certain lifestyle years ago. It wasn't by choice, it just happened. And here I am. Now, what I know. So that's the end of that subject. So, anyway, gotta keep fighting this demonic war. It really is a spiritual battle. And it's not ideal because I know what I've got to do. But the thing is, putting something to something I need to do might not help, but I just got to try and do something. So the cost of living and everything else goes ridiculous, but yeah. Brain implant since 1960s. Can you believe that? It's unbelievable, but it happens. Wow. I've got to sign out anyway for now.